Hi Instagram, hello. Hi Facebook, jumping in to do the live. I hope you're all having a really good week. Happy to be here. Do some reads for us tonight. Some soul reading. Let me get myself comfortable with my chair. What's going on with my chair? I need to twist. Oh, Christ. That's better. Hey Joe, how are you? Good to see you. So I'll just wait for the people to jump on to Facebook as well. Bad hair day. It's all good. Yeah, I wonder what's going on. Hello, Facebook. So I'm here. I've arrived. Pop your name in and say hello so I can greet you. It would be good to see you. See who's jumped on. I wonder what's going on with the... Oh, that's fine. Yeah, so, hey, Janice. Good to see you. Hello. Hello, everyone. Georgie, Veronica, Lisa, hello. So we'll just wait for some people to jump on Facebook before we start, and we're still waiting on Instagram for a few peeps to jump on Instagram. It's lovely to see everyone. If you're feeling generous, a share would be amazing. Tag your friends in on Instagram or on Facebook. A share would be just beautiful. Kim, hello, all the love. Kim's one of my colleagues. She's a training tarot therapist. So I see Kim, all my tarot therapists that are doing my course, I see them as colleagues now. She's one of my colleagues, one of the tribe. Hello, Kim. So is Joe, actually, on Instagram. Katie, hello. Oh, it's always nice to have a first timer. Pop your cherry, hey? Hi, Kim. Hello, Marianne from Ireland. Hello, good to see you. Cards are flopping everywhere. Hello, Shannon. I hope you're feeling okay. I hope you're well. Thinking of you. I saw your lovely pictures. Look like you were living it up on Saturday night, having a good time. Good on you. Hi, Jointa. I probably pronounced that wrong. I'm sure I have. Please don't be offended. It's not meant as any insult. Hello, Lisa Jane. Yes, so, okay. Hello, Heather. Lovely to see you. So just waiting for a little bit longer. For those of you who might jump on later, who might be watching the replay, and if you're in Perth, hi, Katie. Oh, I'm so glad that you've caught me live. That's wonderful. I'm glad to be here. I've got an event running at the moment. It'll be at the end of this month. It is a live in-person event that Katie B, though some of you will know Katie B on Spirit Events Directories and in Perth. Katie B is a human design specialist and teacher. And she also is an NLP coach. She's also a tarot therapist. I've joined forces with Katie B, and we're going to do an event. We're doing an event in Perth, and it'll be on the 27th and 28th. It's a 2-day event, a 2-day soul immersion called Soul Alchemy. So it really is going to be an experiential event, that being it's not really just about training. This will be you personal journeying with the tarot and astrology. So I'm going to teach you how to incorporate tarot and astrology together, but we'll only use the trumps of the tarot because just to simplify it, and then we're going to work through the 12 spheres of the zodiac. So I'll get your charts out and stuff. So it's going to be a deep dive into your own soul signature, your own cosmic blueprint. And then we're going to journey with the spirit of the archetypes to inform us as we move through each house, as we go about the day. It'll be absolutely amazing. And then Katie B will then take us on a journey on the next day, where she'll teach you how to read your own human design chart and design chart for others, and also go through the 7 gateways, and 7 gateways being your own unique flow states in each of the chakras. I'm not a specialist in human design, so I'm a bit nervous sharing Katie B's section. She can explain it much better than me. But it will be a full, rich weekend of incredible wisdom and knowledge And most importantly, my job and Katie's job is to hold space for you to have a deep dive into your inner landscape, your psychic landscape, uncovering unconscious material that needs your loving attention, to bring that to the surface, to integrate that into your conscious awareness, to become more of who you are, for you to individuate. And individuation from a Jungian perspective really is about being your authentic self. So my part of the day is helping you map out. So it's working through the 12 spheres of the zodiac is helping you map out a forecast, all right, a 12-month forecast for the year ahead. And then we'll go into each house and we'll look at all the psychological growth states that you can move through as you move through those 12 houses. It'll be just so good. So yeah, I know, Katie. We may do it online. We'll see how this goes. It's likely that it will be online, but yeah, it's going to be pretty deep, hey? And what an experience to be in person. So we get to hold space for you, to be in person, to work through what's coming up, to read your chart with you and your cards, and it's just going to be really rich. So I don't, I guess that's the best that I can describe right now without spending all night talking about it as much as I'd love to. So I've called my section Zodiac Tarot. So it's a real esoteric approach to tarot, and yeah, can't wait to share it. That's for sure. Okay, so yeah, totally. Katie, I'm with you. Katie said it's nice people are doing more in-person events. Yeah, we felt called to do it as an in-person event so that we could have just a touch to be in person. My essential oils are going to be there. I'm going to have my drum, my crystal singing bowls. We're just deep diving into the underworld, into the psychic landscapes. Just be beautiful. Yeah, you don't get that same experience when you're, on Zoom. It's not quite the same. Yeah, it's a luxury weekend, really. It's a luxury weekend for the price point as well. It's such a good price point for what you're going to get. If you're a seasoned tarot practitioner, you will learn so much more than you have before based on me introducing you to Jungian archetypes, and also helping exploring the cards from a psychotherapeutic standpoint. I'll teach you how to use psychotherapy in your readings to deepen your connection with the cards and that of your clients. It'll be so good. Anyway, okay, enough said. So, thanks, Robin. Yeah, all right. Well, how this works is, first of all, I'm going to do a 10-card read. Sorry, start again. Christ, I saw a client that I'm supposed to be reading for. I saw a name and I'm thinking 10-card read. First of all, I'm going to do a 3-card read. So this 3-card read will be for the collective, your spirit team, my spirit team, your higher self, my higher self, all working in sacred collaboration together. And I've put my hand up to do this read for you. And then once I've done the 3-card read, then I will encourage you to drop a question in, or just put yes in the comments section if you'd like me to read for you. So in the meantime, I'll put a link in here for our amazing event for Perth people who'd love to join. You're not going to get an event like this. There's nothing out there like this. It is a one-of-a-kind event. And it's run under the International Centre of Tarot Therapy, my trademarked trainings. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so let me pick some cards. I'll pick 3 cards and then we'll move forward. So 3 cards for the collective. Are you ready, everyone? Let's go. Okay, what's the collective read going to be? So if anything resonates for you, please take it. It's because it's meant for you. Okay, so if anything resonates, yeah, bring it on, says Katie. Yeah, let's bring it on, everyone. Those of you who know me well will know I'll be secretly hoping we've got some love reads happening right now, but let's not get too carried away. Oh, I've just lost my connection on. I'm back on Instagram. Okay, let's start. Talking too much. First card. We got this card last week, did we not? I think we did. Okay, so we've got the four of Wands. Okay, let's just talk about what the wands mean anyway. So the wands in the Mythic Tarot, my description of the wands in the Mythic Tarot, is based on soul purpose. It's based on destiny. It rules the imagination. It's not, it's, maybe we'll use the terms, it is about divine inspiration and divine timing. And the wands are really about your life being the art, that you are creativity is moving through you, and you are a creative genius of your own life, and it's up to you to create the life you truly desire. You are in control of your destiny. So the wands are very adventurous cards. They're really about following the divine inspiration, or where we feel inspired in our life, and trusting that fire where we feel lit and where we feel excited. Anyway, okay, so we've got the Four of Wands here. The Four of Wands represents gathering your resources. The first message for tonight is about gathering your resources. So sometimes resources are back in the past. So that means going back into your past and grabbing all the lessons, all the good tools that you used to use, and bring them into the present moment to inform your current project, business, employment, whatever it is that you're currently working on right now, what you're currently building. You're being called to go back into your past and grab those resources, those skills that you had, and bring them into the present moment to inform your current project. You're also being called to call in your team. So this is not the time to sort of be a loner and expect to do things on your own, or ask for help. This is our time now to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. This card does represent a team effort. It's not about you having to do this alone. And in fact, any successful projects, any successes that we have in our life, if we look back, at our successes, you'll have seen it, but you got a helping hand somewhere along the line. There was support for you. So you're being reminded to draw on those life ropes, those support ropes that are there for you. And one isn't enough. I remember when I was doing my hypnotherapy many years ago, and I had chronic anxiety, and I can remember my hypnotherapist at the time saying, it's really important that you gather a few different life ropes. It's not enough just to do hypnotherapy. So I went on a mission to grab all these life ropes. I did naturopathy, I was exercising, it was diet, it was my naturopath, it was spirituality. So there was all these different life ropes that I grabbed onto. So you're encouraged to not just look for one resource, to grab a hold, open up to the potential of utilizing many different resources to support you with your project. Now, the big message with this card, can you see there's a ship in the background? Can you see that? There's a ship in the background. That ship in the background is a reminder. And the next message of this card is that you haven't missed out. You haven't missed out. This is really about knowing that the ship is waiting for you. It's waiting for you. You haven't missed out. You've not missed out. And you're not going to miss out. Right now, the most important thing is to gather all those resources, gather all the tools, the bits and pieces that you need, that you're going to take on that ship for this next leg of the journey. So this tells me that for some of you, you probably do feel like either you're too old, or you've missed the boat, or no one's going to like me, I'm too old, whatever stories you're telling yourself, it's all bullshit. The ship has docked, and it is waiting for you to get the fuck over yourself and board. Get on board. Get on board, everyone. Did you hear that? That was a message that came through really clearly. Get on board. So gather your resources, ask for help, make sure you have plenty of life ropes, not just one, get the supports that you need, and enroll in the trainings, get the coach, find the therapist, do all the things that you need to do to ensure that you're going to get yourself from this position onto that ship in the background. Okay. All right, next card. What have we got? Oh, do you know, my cards are getting so old. I've just noticed that there's a mark on there now. That wasn't a depressed. That was a, oh no, my card's been older. Anyway, so we've got the King of Cups. Oh, I love this card. It's like one of my most favorite cards. And I want to speak to you about the myth, because the myth in this card is so romantic. It's so beautiful. So it's the story of Odysseus. And Odysseus was in love with Eurydice. And they were so in love that they went to get married, and they had this beautiful wedding, and they got to the altar and they said, I do. And then this snake came and it bit Eurydice, and she died at the altar. King Orpheus was absolutely devastated, completely devastated by this. And so he went into the underworld begging his uncle Hades, because Orpheus is Apollo's son and Hades and Apollo are brothers. Anyway, nonetheless, begging his uncle Hades to please let me have Eurydice back. Please let me have her back. And Hades said no. So then what he did is he played his most beautiful, you can see he's a musician and a poet. He played his most beautiful piece of music and sung his most perfect, heartfelt, sorrowful, sad love song. And he captured the hearts of all that were in the underworld, and they all fell to their knees and they were begging Hades, just let him have her back. So Hades said, okay, no problem, on one condition. When you walk out of the underworld, I want you to turn your back and trust that Eurydice is behind you. So Orpheus agreed. He agreed to that. And as he was walking out of the underworld and into waking consciousness, just before he got to waking consciousness, he turned around because he couldn't hear Eurydice's footsteps. And he turned around and she disappeared. She went back into the unconscious, into the underworld, disappeared, gone, finished, over. End of story. So Orpheus was brokenhearted and he didn't trust. And this is part of the messaging around this card. This really is the once bitten, twice shy. This is the card of the broken heart. Somebody who has had such a broken heart that they're scared to open up to love, scared to open up and trust people. This is somebody who's really good, got the gift of being able to hold space and that can counsel and has, somebody who's got a really good gift with talking therapy, yet they struggle to share their own personal hurts, pains, their vulnerabilities, maybe is probably a better way to describe this card. So when this card comes up in a reading, it really is about, the messaging is that we need to drop the guard around our heart. If we want to have love, if you want to have what you want in your life, whether that be, we're relational beings, okay? We're in relationship with our reality, whether that be a lover, whether that be the perfect, your occupation or career or business or course that you're selling for me, whatever it is. You've got to drop the guard around your heart and be vulnerable, be real, speak from the heart. So like I can give relationship advice, but I'm about to right now. But let's just say, in terms of relationship, you need to let that person know that you like them. And it doesn't mean that you have to go into your sad story and tell them how shit, the terrible things that have happened in your life. Vulnerability comes from this place of saying, listen, I really like you. I find you attractive and I'd like to get to know you. Is it okay if we go on a date or something like that, right? But that kind of vulnerability. So this card really is about opening your heart. But if this is someone in your life, because this might represent a person in your life that is somewhat guarded, try and be patient with them, because underneath that, behind that guarded barricade around their heart is someone who is so desperately wanting love and wanting to love. You need to give them some time to open up. So he's also in the sign of Cancer. So this is somebody who is very, very sensitive and someone who does feel deeply, and probably someone who's very romantic and nostalgic. And this is somebody who might have problems letting go of the past. So you need to be patient. Just be patient. Now, another message with this card is as well, for those of you who have been feeling the call to get involved in any kind of counselling. Oh, Jo, big hugs. Jo said I'm in tears. Big hugs, Jo. This is such a beautiful card. It is a reminder for some of us. This card really is a reminder that for some of you, it's the nudge that you are a healer, and not just hands-on healing. I'm talking about talking therapy. This is your nudge to get involved in tarot therapy, in counselling, in psychotherapy, in count, whatever it is that enables you to use your voice and to actively listen, to allow people to come and use their voice and speak to you. This is the card of the therapist in the Mythic Tarot. So this is your little nudge to trust. If you're already on that path, this is your nudge to trust, but you also need to do some of your own personal work. And for some of you that aren't on that path yet, but feel called to it, this is your nudge. This is your yes, go ahead and do it. Go forth and do it. Okay? Oh, it's a big card. It's one of my favorites. I love him. I love him so much. I really do. Okay. Now, the next card that we've got is the the Page. The Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands really does represent what I would call the simmering soup. Okay, so for many of you, you've got this pot on the stove, this soup on the stove that you've got all these ingredients in there, all these exciting ingredients, all these different ideas that are simmering in this pot. And now we know with a good soup, right? You've got to let it simmer for a while so all the flavors of the herbs and whatever else is in there can infuse into the liquid of the water. So it tastes absolutely delish. It's like with this card, we're reminded that you've got to give things time to simmer on the stove. All of the ideas that you have are worthy of pursuing. Okay, this card will come up when you have discovered a gift or a talent, or there's something that you really feel interested in, or that you've been playing with, a hobby, and it's this card suggests that it's worthy of developing into something more. So you want to let it sit on that stove and simmer, get to know it more deeply, explore it more deeply. Or maybe we can think of it like this: a half-baked cake. You don't want a half-baked cake, okay? You want to put the cake in the oven and have it cooked properly. So give yourself time to explore this craft and go all in. Go all in on it so you can get to know it really well, so it becomes the most delicious, beautiful soup that's so rich in wisdom and knowledge and yumminess. Does that make sense? I'm trying to be really, I don't know what I'm trying to be, but I'm trying to give some depth to this card. So the message around this card really is that you've got to give your hobbies and your interests some time, hey, to evolve, and it is worthy of your loving attention. Now, I want to come back to this card. So for those of you who are interested in pursuing the healing arts or therapy of some sort, any kind of therapy, give it some time to simmer, hey. Don't doubt. You've got to go and gather all the resources, get everything ready, go and do your research, go on and hire the people that you know that can help you, that can take you to that place really deeply, because you haven't missed out. The ship is in the background there waiting for you to get on board. Once bitten, twice shy. Let down the guard. Let yourself be a bit vulnerable, okay? And trust. Try and work on, this. For some of you, this card will be issues around trust. Famous word of the guides. I'm just going to share something which may mean nothing to you, but I think was really insightful for me. Sometimes when I'm online and I'm looking for copy, looking for something to write, some inspiration, what can I write about today? And sometimes I'll put some keywords into my own Facebook and see if there's something that I've written before that I could upgrade and make it better. And anyway, I chuck this keyword in, and it took me to an old group that I was a part of. I wasn't running it, I was a part of it. And it was me having a fucking meltdown. I'm talking meltdown central, where I was losing my shit, thinking nothing is not going to happen. I'm not going to have this thriving business. It's all going to fall apart. Oh, the stories that I was saying in that post. Anyway, that post was from about 2019 or something like that. Everything that I thought was never going to happen, wasn't going to happen, has happened, and plus some, right? So trust, that's the message. When I saw that post, I was like, oh, why do we punish ourselves like that, hey? Why do we self-harm? It's self-harming, isn't it? When we don't trust, self-harming. It's like we feel as though we have to have this initiation into the underworld. We've got to go through the pain body to make it worth it to make it like we're worthy of deserving of it. We're allowed to have some ease and flow, hey, but we don't give it to ourselves because we basically contract and we dam up the flow. We make it so hard for life to provide us with our intention. We slow it down by being like having, being like I was that day. There was this meme I put up. It was a thing where it was this cat was bashing up this other cat. That's how I was feeling. I was feeling really violent and angry about everything. Anyway, I got what I wanted. So that's the end of that. All right, so let's pick some cards, hey. We'll do some cards. And yeah, Perth people. Oh, this is great. This card just fell out. I was just thinking about the Perth people and this card came out. I would so love you to come and do our Soul Alchemy event, tarot, astrology, and human design. It's going to be a weekend of esoteric study, diving deep into your unconscious, your psychic landscape. You're going to learn about astrology and the astrological wheel, the 12 spheres, and working through those 12 spheres as we explore the spirit of the archetypes as they speak to us as we move through the zodiac wheel. Fucking fabulous. I'm not going to try and explain Katie's part of it because I'm bound to mess that up. I'm going to be attending Katie's training, which will be the next day. It's like a 2-day workshop. I'll put this in, put the link in there. And then, so I'll be learning. Katie's going to teach us how to read human design. And I'm going to ruin it if I talk about Katie's part because that's her specialty. She's a human design specialist and teacher. She's amazing. And she's a tarot therapist. Okay, who am I going to read for? Oh, Nikki, you want a romance card. You get what you get and you don't get upset. That's the biggest lesson I've learned so far with this tarot. You know I've been asking for romance for fucking weeks, months, years. I'm swearing tonight. So you get what you get, Nikki. I know Nikki. I can speak to her like that. She's fine. Okay. Oh, really? You're feeling? Oh, James, we're all feeling a bit. Oh, I felt a bit sad today too, James. We're all feeling a bit sensitive around relationships. Do you know why? Can I go into why? I need to read some cards, but very quickly. We had that lunar eclipse, right? It was really, really intense, and it has set the tone until the next new moon. I should do a new moon read, right? So there was an opposition to Uranus and Mercury and Chiron. So Chiron is the wound that doesn't heal. It's the wound that is always weeping. It's a weeping wound. And because this moon was in Scorpio, which in the traditional zodiac rules the 8th house, blah, 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 it is deep. We went deep into the unconscious, deep into the shadow. And Uranus was giving us shocking events, shocking revelations, chance meetings, really exciting stuff, but very, very triggering. Mercury was dropping in all these downloads. And we're still feeling it. It was like, on my chart, I was getting a direct hit because it was at 14 degrees. It was a direct hit on my chart. But it's good. Now, if we think Uranus, all right, think the Tower card. I've got to get to the cards. I'm getting there. When you think the Tower card, right, and think revelations to liberate us from the bullshit, from whatever it is that we've been distorting to take us away from the truth of who we are and to fulfill our soul purpose. It's just such a huge, big eclipse. That was a big one. So, I look forward to do the new moon reads now. That's coming. I'm going to do them. I'm decided I'm going to do them all the time. Anyway, I'll start reading because I'm getting excited. All right, who am I reading for? Fucking Nikki said, fucking eclipse was beyond intense. It was huge. It was huge. All right, now let's start reading. Oh my God, too excited. Joanne, hello, and then I'll read for Joe, James, and Nikki on Instagram, and I'll come back to anybody else. So just think, Joe, just stay, not just think, stay. Okay, guys, stay. I'll be back. So, Joanne, let's read for you. So on the event, we're going to be doing all things astrology and tarot, combining zodiac tarot. It's going to be just delicious at our event. It's going to be so good. All right, Joanne. So I've just pulled some cards for you, Joanne. Oh, so just to reiterate, okay, first card I've got for you is a new beginning. This is about preparing for a new chapter, or taking a risk, doing something that you haven't done before. You're being called to step off the cliff and trust your instincts, trust your inner eye. This isn't about focusing on what other people think or what other people think you should be doing. This is about you trusting your own inner instincts. Now, sometimes I'll say to people when this card comes up, just smash the alarm clock. Don't worry. Do you hear what I said? I nearly did a faux pas. Did you hear that, everyone? This is terrible. Anyway, smash the alarm clock. Smash the alarm clock. What I mean by that is that don't worry about how long it's going to take. Don't worry about timing, okay? The timing is now. Just get rid of the clock and just know that you haven't missed out on anything. And this is about taking a leap of faith into a new direction. You're being called to do that. Now, there's ideas that you have that are cooking in this in this soup. Remember I was talking about this soup? I think you were here at the beginning, Joanne. There's ideas that are sitting in that soup. You must take, nudges, take the risk and give it a go. Not just give it a go. Go all in on it. Say yes. Take a risk and do what you haven't done before, because it'll be a good outcome for sure. Okay, so I'm going to read for Joe on Instagram, and then I'm going to read for Gina on in the UK but I'm first going to read on Instagram. So Joe, I'm just going to draw a card for you, shall I, Joe? Yeah? Yes, go ahead, Joanne. Take a risk and do it. This is your nudge. But let the soup, remember how I was talking about the soup, giving it time to simmer? Just give it a little bit more time to simmer. You need some more simmering time, but it's definitely yes. Take a leap of faith. Okay. Joe, this is for you. That was weird. You're not going to believe this. None of you are going to believe this. There was a little spark that was underneath my fingers as I closed the cards, literally light, just like that. You're not going to believe it. I saw it. Doesn't matter. I know it was there. Okay. Oh, we're talking about this today. Joe, change of direction. Okay. This is quick silver thinking changes. This is a change of direction. There's an elephant in the room and you know it. Change direction. Okay. This is your nudge to change direction. There's an elephant in the room and you know it. Please don't deny it. Now's the time to change the course of your destiny. Change direction ASAP. That is your message. Okay. As my European mother says, with her wise wisdoms, I think I bring this up all the time, but I'm just going to share it with you anyway, Joe, that there's always another bus to catch. There'll always be another bus, and there'll be another one. Okay. Yes. So Gina. Hi, Gina from the UK. Hello, Jody. And then I'm going to read for James. James, are you still here? Put a nudge in there or something, or an emoji. Give me an emoji so I know that you're still here. And I won't forget you, Nikki. I haven't forgotten. You're in as well, Nikki. You're definitely in. You're after James. All right? Okay, Gina. Yes. Have you got, well, you didn't. I was going to say, have you got a question, but it takes so long. I'm just going to read. Oh, Gina. Okay, so what are you holding on to that you need to let go of? When this card comes up, Gina's got this card here. When this card comes up in a reading, the Four of Pentacles, it really is about you damming up the flow in fear of letting go, in fear of investing. If you want what you want, you're being called to invest. It's going to require an investment from you. So that might be financial and emotional. It's probably a bit of both. Sometimes if we want to take our practice to the next level, if we want what we want, it's going to require us to step up and to be a bit more challenged. But you can see here he's holding on very tightly to those pentacles. In the story, he's been mentoring. Look at my nail, isn't that terrible? Anyway, he's been mentoring his nephew, And his nephew was starting to show signs of being incredibly gifted at this craft. And then he starts to get jealous. Dudleyus, his uncle, starts to get jealous and is holding on to his knowledge, doesn't want to share it. But what he ends up doing is for use of a better word, well, I won't swear, I'll try and be sensible now. He ends up stopping the flow. He ends up ruining things for himself, and he ends up damming up his own creative flow by holding on. So when this card comes up, it is about up leveling. It is about taking things to the next level, and it's going to require you to let go and invest, make another investment. You need to be more freed up emotionally. And this is the green light card. Whatever it is that you decide to do, it's a good outcome. So this is about bringing that future idea that you see out there somewhere, bringing it into the present moment and taking aligned action as if it's happening now. So saying, like, it's like when I started doing my astrology training, I started calling myself an astrologer straight away. I'm an astrologer, even though I'd only done 1 week of training. Yes, I did. Straight in there. No messing around. Just going to swear again. Sarah, are you still there? Am I allowed to swear? Sometimes I do, hey? Because sometimes it requires a strong F. You got that, it gives you that vibe, that energy, doesn't it? Sometimes you need to say it to give the feeling, to get the feeling across. But anyway, this is a really good card. So this is about bringing that future self into the present moment, Gina, and taking aligned action on it. Oh, you do dwell in the past, and maybe that's why I can't move on because I'm trying so hard. Yes, so this card, this really is about that future that you want. You have to start being that now. And this is definitely about investing into something more. It's time to invest your time, your energy, your money, your resources into up-leveling you. That is your message. Okay. So now I'm going to read for James. James, do you have a question whilst I shuffle the cards? Yeah, it's good to swear, isn't it? It does help. It really does help. It just clears the throat chakra. It really does. Actually, it's a sign of intelligence. Did you know that, everyone? We all know that. It's a sign of intelligence. I was at my daughter's netball game on the weekend. I was getting right into it. I was hearing myself going, "Oh shit! Oh bugger!" And then the realization that there were children. I was on a netball court with children, and I was getting right into it, ready to getting angry at the umpires. And hey, she got slapped in the. Got into it, way too into it. But I reckon I should be the coach. But anyway, yes. So just a card around relationships, if possible, sure. So all the single ladies, okay? Now we've got a hottie on James. We've got a hottie on Instagram. His name is Jim St. Graham. Okay. Now he is super good looking. He's really handsome, and he's single. He's single, and he's a conscious parent. He does peaceful parenting, and he's a chef, and he's also practical. He's also a practical man. He builds things too. You've got nothing to worry about, James. Seriously, and he's good looking. So he's the whole package. Yeah, Katrina's over onto Instagram now. He's the whole package. What are you waiting for, ladies? Get in. There you go. There's your reading. James. You're sorted now. All right, let me pick some cards for you. Where's he at? Yeah, I know. We all need Jim, don't we? We all need a James. How old? James, how old I think he's about 40. He's about 40. Perfect. It's not showing his age yet. It's good. Yeah. Anyway, okay. I'm going to pick some cards for James, don't I? James, all right, love. What do we got? You get what you get, James, and you don't get upset, because I don't always get the love cards, even though I want love cards. So you're going to have to get what you get. But, hey, I've done some legwork for you tonight. And it's all true, everyone. It's not even bullshit. He's 37. It's all true. All right, pick some cards for James. James, you're not going to be happy about this. Yes, that's the one. He's just put, everybody's just put, oh, yes, that's the ones. If you jump on Instagram and you go on my Instagram, you'll see, you'll be able to find him. All right, James, this is for you. Now, you're not going to be happy about this because this isn't about love. This is really about your work. You've got a decision to make. I'm sorry. You get what you get and you don't get upset. I can't bullshit you. I'm sorry, this isn't about love. This is about work. And maybe because someone's there already and you're just not seeing it or something like that. But anyway, nonetheless, you got the Seven of Pentacles there. This is really about an opportunity that you're being invited. This is a creative opportunity that's going to take your practice to the next level. You know, go for it. Say yes. Say yes to this opportunity. It's like, you know, it'll grow you and it'll grow your creative artistic endeavors as well, because I don't think that you're just meant to be painting walls. I think there's more to you than just that, and you know this as well. So this is definitely your nudge. This is your nudge. An opportunity is there for you. It's either going to get offered to you or you're going to create it for yourself. And you must say yes. This is your nudge to say yes. Now, look what card. This card keeps showing up, and it was in the read. It was in the, you know, the energy report. Okay, you've got to let it simmer in this soup and trust, get the ingredients in there. Start making it happen. Start making, hey, you know how I said to you the other day about making your first product, getting the product out there, that first product. Start like getting the first product correct, making it like the best, whatever it is that product is. You know, just really working on that and making it super, super beautiful. Oh, I'm glad you're not upset and sorry. Yeah, because I get upset when I want love reads and I don't get them. Never. Guys, so that was your message, James. That was just a nudge, hey, to get onto it, get onto that thing. So, all right, I'm going to read for someone on Facebook, and then I'm going to come over back to Instagram. And then I'm going to read for... Oh, bloody love. Of course, Katie, I'm going to give you a card for sure. There we go. Hello. Yes, love to read for you. Love to read for you. Yeah, so we all want love, hey? I'm back on the apps, but I was listening to this, pod. I'm back on the apps, but you know what? I've swiped left so much that I've actually just gone through the entire field in my, thing. So I've gone through the whole lot. I have been intentional. No worries, James. I have been intentional, but it's just... Oh, I was happy single once too. I'm over it now. We're 6 years in now. I've had enough. That's it. I've had enough of it. I've had enough. I'm not even asking for much, hey? I just want like casual but not casual, right? This is what I want. I think it's a unicorn thing, right? I don't know. I'm not sure it'll ever happen, but what I want is just a casual but consistent. A consistent casual that's not sharing themselves with anybody else, because I'll get jealous. I don't like that. I'll be jealous of that. Can't handle it. But I would like to have not a root and a boot. Jesus, Paul. No, I need more than that. But what I want is just someone that can give. I need space to do my stuff, do my thing, but that I can see casually, part-time, on a part-time basis. It's a mythical creature. It's called a mythical creature is what that's called. Anyway. And that's someone that's hot. All the things, all the things, the mythical creature. All right. So who am I reading for? Katie, let's read for you. And I need someone that I can laugh with too, because it's just so boring. The last date I went out with, last guy I dated with, is so fucking serious. It was just like stressful. We're on edge. It was all serious. Hot, but all serious. He was hot, but all too serious. Can't relax. Yes, it does sound idyllic, doesn't it, James? James agrees with me. But it's a bit mythical. All right, Katie. So, Katie, you're a bit like me. You're looking for the mythical creature. So this card really does represent this. She's in the sign of Aquarius, and when this card comes up in a reading, it really is about being overly overly idealistic, or maybe having these huge expectations, or being like super critical, being too hard on yourself, having this looking for perfection and asking that of you as well, which is preventing you from having the kind of relationship or having that kind of depth that you want in relationship. She in this card in the Mythic Tarot, she was a warrior. She was a warrior queen, and she didn't want to do relationship. She was very much on her own. Sometimes I think of this card. Do you get her a lot, Nikki? Yeah, I don't. She doesn't come up. I just get work cards all the time, or the devil. But anyway, so when the Queen of Swords comes up in a reading, she is very much, think of her. She's a global citizen. So she's not really into the intimacy of relationships. I suspect that there is you need a lot of space, or you're very independent, and maybe that is getting in the way of you. Maybe it's a defense that you use, because you're not fully trusting enough to let go, to allow yourself to be involved in relationship. This tells me that you've got some doubts and fears around relationship, or around a relationship, or the capacity for you. Yes, 100% independent. Yes, but we know that because of that, she doesn't actually end up getting what she wants, because her expectations are so high that no one can reach that. This is the mythical creature that we were talking about. Yes, it is. Katie just said, yeah, it's myself rather than others. Yeah, absolutely. We can be very hard on ourselves. So you can see she's pouring the water away from her, which one of my students mentioned that years ago. And I thought that was so perceptive and such a great example of how she's not feeling. She doesn't want to be too close emotionally, because there's, I think there's some fears around vulnerability for you, around relationship and vulnerability. My message to you, yes, you get in your own way for sure. I feel that there's issues around vulnerability that's preventing you from growing, and yeah, I would encourage you to go and do some work around that. And okay, that was your message. So I'm going to get back to Nikki. You get the devil a lot as well. Oh, Nikki and I, we've got similar paths, don't we, Nikki? There's some similarities going on there for sure. Natalie's asked me every question you can possibly ask for a reading on Facebook. Just can you just give me a full-blown reading? Natalie, it might be good to jump in, book in for a session. If you want all those questions answered, come and jump in for a 1 hour reading with me. You'd probably be best suited for that. I can't answer all those questions. There's too many questions. It'll take up the entire show. Okay, so Nikki, we're asking about relationships. Again, you get what you get and you don't get upset. So relationship reads, I can't guarantee that Spirit wants to talk about relationship, but let's see. What was your question around relationship, Nikki? And then I'm going to read for Diane after. Can you just share your question with me, Nikki? No, Nikki said, I'm not holding my breath. Yeah, neither am I. Nikki, what was your question? Is it time? Is that the question? All right. Is it time? Let's see what Spirit has to say. Let's see what the cards have to say. Oh, Nikki, look, Nikki's a tarot therapist as well. She's done my training twice, and she's doing graduate training, and she's well equipped to read the cards. So Nikki's going to come in with her own interpretation for sure of this. But Nikki, there's still an elephant in the room that needs your loving attention. And, perhaps, when this card comes up, maybe you can think of it in the context of what are you distorting? What are you still distorting, or what are you not looking at? What is it that you're not looking at yet that needs your loving attention? Your ex is back. Okay, that would make sense. So he's the elephant in the room. Now, I feel that with this card that there's some work that needs to be done if you're going to have each other, get back with each other. Yes, you know exactly what that card means. That's right. I think there's some things that you guys need to talk about if you're going to get back together. And yes, I had a feeling it was that one. Nikki's just telling me who it is. Yes, I think you're going to have to, you're definitely going to have to discuss things and not close your ears to pretend it's, you've got to address the elephant in the room, what wasn't resolved last time and what needs to be spoken about this time. Oh, he wants to, does he? Oh, that's interesting. So the card that we've got, other card that I've got for you is the Ace of Wands. So, Nikki, I'd be thinking about, but you're enjoying seeing him. Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. Hey, listen, everyone. Message for all of us. Pick your baggage. Pick your baggage, because everybody's going to come in with their stuff, all right? Nobody's going to come in a clean, conscious, awake. We're all going to be unconscious somewhere, okay? So just pick your baggage. Some issues are more difficult to deal with than others, and some you just can't manage. That's fine, but we're all going to come in with something. So Nikki, pick your baggage, hey? Yeah, we're all going to feel a bit, and yes, relationships trigger us in such a deep way. They're so good, learning curves. They give you so much insight into yourself. 100%. Anyway, the card I want to share with you now is the Ace of Wands. This is about creating a vision for the future that you want. Maybe it's time to sit down and talk about, what do you both want? What do you both want from this relationship? And maybe this card really is about looking at how you can make that happen, rather than just kind of fumbling your way and blindfolding your way through this and lucky dipping. It's a bit like that on the apps, hey? It's a bit like a lucky dip. You're not having that visceral experience of connecting with someone. Yeah, it's completely different. Anyway, Nikki, really sit down and talk to each other about what you want, the vision that you have for your future, and that he has for his future with you, and work, and to have that discussion. Okay, that's your message. Yeah, I mean, look, pick your baggage. Nikki just said he keeps talking about our amazing future. He's just got a brilliant job. Yes, pick your baggage, hey? That's really, really, no one's perfect. We're all human, hey? Imperfectly human. And just choose someone that is going to be, obviously there's got to be physical chemistry. You've got to think they're hot. I think so. I want to feel like I want to have that chemistry with someone for sure. This is going to sound terrible. I'm just going to say it because I can. I'm the inappropriate therapist. I tried going for just for personality last year. It doesn't work, okay? It doesn't work. It's not enough. You've got to have that chemistry. You've got to have that thing, because you just can't. Just couldn't force it. And then it doesn't work. You've got to have that thing, whatever that thing is. But yeah, of course, there's more to it than just that. It's not just that. Anyway, okay. All right. Oh, there's all this conversation I'm missing on Facebook. I'm seeing all these things going on here. And I'm missing it. Kim was talking about, maybe because I trained mine up a bit, then he went to FIFO, saying that he's still a major work in progress. Oh, you're talking about your fella, Kim? Yeah. Hey, FIFO's not a bad thing. Look, I need space, hey, to do my work and stuff. So I'm not adverse to dating someone that's FIFO. Good, because it gives me space and time to do what I need to do with my kid and whatever else. The problem is that it's trying to, when you're a single parent, you're trying to juggle around, it does get hard. It does get tricky when you've got young ones, Anyway, moving on. So, Diane. Gosh, I was just grinding my teeth there. Bit of repressed anger, everyone. Bit of repression. Anyway. Oh, all right. The High Priestess. Diane, so the message for you with this card is you're being called to develop your psychic abilities. Are you doing any psychic development training? Have you done any psychic development training recently? This is your nudge to go and explore more of the psychic path. Let yourself have it. Dive deep into it. This tells me that you are very, very intuitive, very psychic, and that in fact you have the abilities to read for others if you want to, if you so feel called to do it. I would encourage you to do it. This does tell me as well that, well, there's a couple of layers to this card for you, Diane. Trying to show Instagram as well. This card represents, it does represent you having to put some plans in place to be strategic about your future, making sure that you are taking care of yourself first and foremost. And it does suggest that there might be somebody very difficult in your life at the moment that might not be making things easy. You need to put a plan in place to protect yourself, to look after yourself. And, it may not be that dramatic, but, the suggestion is to put some plans in place, long-term plans, be like a bit of a chess player. You've got to think about 10 moves ahead rather than just a couple moves ahead. I also feel with this card, it is about you developing your mind and the potential for study as well. If you haven't already thought about that, you've probably been getting psychic nudges from spirit saying, go and do it. This is your nudge. This is your confirmation, your nudge. That is your message. Okay. Katrina said, I'm so grateful for the baggage my recent relationship brought up for me. I learned so much about, I know, relationships, there's something, look, honestly. Oh, James he's telling us what he wants. Listen up, ladies. Okay, so he said dual occupancy homes, one roof, one relationship, one great big wall down the middle with a lockable door. They're actually getting quite popular. Gee, that's harsh, James. You've just ruined the romantic view I had of you. That's a bit harsh. With a lockable door. Christ. That's a bit harsh. Not sure about that. I just like to have my own house, actually. You can go and live somewhere else. I'll have my own place. And then so the lockable door is basically the front door to my house and the front door to your house. Or door in the middle. But can you imagine that if you shared a house with someone and you just lock the door at each other every night? Wouldn't be very nice, would it? Oh, Robin says, I'll just keep my own place. That's right. Joe just said, I'll keep my own place. Robin says, that sounds perfect to me. Anyway. Oh, we're getting caught up in all the romance, aren't we, everyone? Because we're all fucking desperate for a relationship. All right, let's move forward. Not that desperate, because if I was that desperate, I would be with someone right now. And, I have had opportunities. It's just been a no from me. You can't force it. You can't force love. It's just not going to happen. Who am I reading for now? I've forgotten. There has to be someone on Facebook because I've forgotten. Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Yes, I'll pick a card for you. Building companies are taking these on. Really? Really? James said that building companies are actually, are you painting houses? Have you painted a house that's like that? I know someone, it was a guy that it's flipped over, a guy that I dated very shortly. It was ridiculous. The whole thing was just ridiculous, really. But anyway, nonetheless, he lives with his mum, and I think they had that situation. They had a lockable door. So it was one house, but a lockable doors between each other. But he was saying that he couldn't rest at night. Just laugh about it. I didn't laugh about it at the time. I took it really serious because it was affecting him, but couldn't rest because he could hear his mum on the other side. No privacy, hey? I wouldn't like that. Well, I mean, I've lived with my mum. It's not an issue living with my mum, but, as a grown up, you need your own space, hey? Yeah. Yes, Steve said, yes, someone that understands. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I don't even know what I'm reading about anymore, everyone, because I'm just talking about love and relationships and junk, really. Let's talk about Rebecca. All right, Rebecca, let's pick some cards for her. It's not junk, actually. It's really important conversations. We don't have enough of these, hey? We need to have like a group therapy session with all of us talking about relationships. Anyway, I'm going to start again because I wasn't thinking about you, Rebecca. Let me do this. Everybody's so patient on Facebook waiting for me. Rebecca, okay. Oh, Rebecca, this tells me that you have had a broken heart. This is you somewhat feeling betrayed by a situation or having been betrayed, and you're working through this betrayal or have been working through the betrayal. This tells me there's still some work. There is still some work around this feeling of betrayal. Maybe you've betrayed yourself. Yeah, we could. Steve said we could start our own app. Yeah, we could. We could start our own messenger group. Hey. Anyway, moving on. This does tell me that there's been some hurts around your heart and that you're still healing from this, and it's still, you need to give your loving attention to yourself. We can see in the card here that there's been some kind of conflict, some kind of argument. Sometimes we feel we blame ourselves for the situations that we find ourselves, or the situations that were created, and it may be that you're doing that. I'm not necessarily suggesting that you are to blame, but there might be a part of you that's blaming yourself for the situation that you found yourself in. Conflict grows us. None of us like conflict, right? But conflict is an opportunity for growth. And if we can work through the conflict, we can stay and be there to find some kind of resolution. It's a really powerful way to do relationship. The problem with conflict is that most people run, when there's some conflict, they're out the door and they don't stay to work things through. So I feel with this card that there is something to be worked on. There is something to work through. Now, this tells me that you're feeling exhausted, that there's an exhaustion there, that you're tired, and that you might feel like you've hit a bit of a block around a situation. And this card tells me that you do still have plenty of gas left in the tank, and not to become too, well, think of it like this. It's mind over matter, or you've got to think of all the ways that you can overcome or get through this situation rather than you can't. I use the analogy often with this card. It's like running a marathon. You get to the last 3Ks and you're completely, you're stuffed. You can't be bothered running anymore. And there's, your mind saying, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I feel tired. But yet you've got to somehow push yourself through it. And the way to do it is actually to change your thoughts and start visualizing and seeing the outcome that you want. Start seeing visually seeing what it is that you want and changing your mindset and pushing through, breaking through mentally so that you can, get yourself over the line. So it really is mind over matter with this card. You need to think about how you can, rather than, we've got a spammer. Whoops, get a spammer, block user. There we go. Goodbye. He's gone. Block user. Just make sure he's gone. Yeah, okay. That was your message. So, okay, I'm going to put closure on tonight because I've got a kid that I have to look after. I'm a mum, so I can't stay here all night. Thanks for being patient with me tonight. We did a lot of joking around and talking. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was entertaining for you. I'm sending you all the love, everyone. I just love being here every week. I love showing up for you, and I appreciate everyone being here. I hope you got something out of the energy report. And don't forget, I've got such a wonderful live in-person event in Perth. And I don't want you to miss out. It'll be so good, so amazing, so rich, so transformational. You're going to walk out a different person. More of you, different, being connected to more of who you are, having cleared anything that may be getting in the way, and bringing up some of that unconscious material that may be preventing you from having what you want, playing out habitual patterns of behavior that are stopping you from having love, for example, in your life, the relationship that you want. Okay, everybody's saying bye, James. We love you. All right, take care, everyone. All the love, and I'll see you all next week.